Welcome back to another episode of the Baddy Preshow podcast. This is Chai.
And this is Blaze.
Blaze, how's your week been?
It's been a great week. Week 3 in the books. I'm having a good time, man. Today's a good day. How are you feeling?
No, I'm doing all right. Audio may sound a little different. I'm recording at my girlfriend's house, and so hopefully it turns out okay.
Fingers crossed.
You know who doesn't need fingers crossed, though? You know who's just doing it regardless?
Fingers crossed or uncrossed. I bet it's our player of the week this week.
Oh, absolutely. Lars, the player of the week. Honestly, one of the big players of the season right now. You know, Blaze, for one of our segments coming up later, I got the win-loss records for all of our players.
Oh, okay. That's what I like to hear.
Lars is 6-2 right now. He's won 6 games and only lost twice. Last week, though, went 3-0. He beat Hook, he beat LPJ, and he 6-0'd the number 1 seed, the people's favorite, Head Reaver. What a beatdown.
Our only regret is that we didn't see it on stream. Maybe he still has the footage. Maybe Reaver has the footage to look back on and to learn from. Lars is one of those players. I think he could also receive the award for most people watching when on stream. When Lars plays on stream, it's like 20 new people just join the stream. They say, yay, Lars, woot, woot, Lars. And then when he's done, it's like it kind of like trickles back down to normal.
Nah, that boy has a fan base. He brings up the cheer squad. He's like Gary Oak with the cheerleaders riding that backseat of that car.
Oh, yeah.
Boy's got a fan base.
For good reason, too.
Good reason. That's what you want to see. So big stock up on Lars. What other stock? We got stocks down coming up next, though. Blaze, what do you got for some people you think someone you think stocks up on? Who you think really showed themselves last week?
Well, it wasn't just the Lars show. It was also the debut of our fallen crocodile, now has risen, Wellens. Got 2 big wins. I think he got a win against Candy. Got a win against Kaiser.
He got 2 losses, though.
Yeah, wasn't able to beat King Joker. And I think he lost to KK, which is, it is what it is. But I'm just glad he's back, His thumb is on the road to recovery. He's getting back to his old strengths. I'm still, I think it stocks up.
I disagree. I put stocks down for this one because we had Wellens as the number 2. He was 2nd place last year, and now he's down to 3rd. He lost to KK and King Joker. Is he no longer the number 2? Is he number 3 now?
Oh, hold on. This is technically his week 1, so he's getting back into the swing of things.
Mm-hmm.
I would say he's one of those players that I may have said this before. Also, he's one of those players that he plays against the player, not against the character. So he's really looking for your personal habits when he plays. So I think playing against King Joker is difficult for him because he's literally never seen him play.
I think it's a different story if they face a second time.
I think so, yeah. And I think that as the weeks progress, he's only going to get better and better, and his thumb's going to heal.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
My stock up. I had Albino Joe, the old content head himself. He went 2-0 this past week, showing that he's not exactly a washed player. He's got some fight left in him. He's still got a little bit of that dog left in him.
Got a 2-0 against Hook Resets, former player of the week. I'm looking for his other win.
I believe it's against Zach, man, if I recall correctly.
Okay. Oh, are you talking about it? Oh, no, it's got to be in week 3.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there it is. 2-0 over Zach, man. Yeah. That's kind of, 2 decisive wins, no game 3s, strictly business. I can see why you said stocks up.
Yeah. Who's your stocks down? Who do you think might have let us down a little bit last week?
Blaze stocks are still falling. I lost 2-1 against former player of the week, Hook Resets. I need to play Salvo. I'm kind of been putting that off. But still not where I wanted to be, still not where I wanted to be.
I will give some news on that, by the way. I did get news on it recently. Okay. Unfortunately, for outside of Smash reasons, Salvo will no longer be in the league. He had been dropped.
That's a bummer.
It is a huge bummer. Salvo was one of the more entertaining players to watch for the best and worst reasons. and we're definitely going to miss him. We do have a weird stock of the week. Were you there when the DC phenomenon was happening?
There were at least 5 people in voice chat, and a majority of them, their tag began with CA. Is that what you're referring to?
We had a point where like we had 8 people in chat with a tag that had CA in it. Either they edited it or they originally had it. So shout outs to the letter C.
And the letter A.
Yeah, and the letter
Candy
A.
Jack, Cal.
We had Cal,
Cax,
Callens.
Okay,
Cavs.
well, those were the original 3, and then it started to spread like a virus.
There's also my tag, which is a play on Carly Rae Jepsen, my favorite musical artist.
Okay.
And Terry's Jab Jab Power Dunk. So Carly Rae Jab Jab Power Dunkson.
Gotcha.
Was there. Yeah. Shout outs to the letters C and A. Another special shout outs though. Do you remember last week when you were talking about how so exciting it was going to be that we have Kits on, and then Kits was on, and he had his week, and we were like, AJS, give us more. We want more. That sounds so exciting. We're still in seeding. That'd be great, right?
Right.
The man delivered. Not only do we have another special guest coming up this upcoming week to fill out seating, we have 3 special guests to fill out seating. We have Heather, Zed, and G Harris coming back, all going to be on stream. They're going to start at 8:15 and close out the night. They each have like 3 or 4 matches each. How exciting is that?
You gave me the schedule, and I completely overlooked this. I don't know what I was doing. I think I just look for my matches, and I'm like, great, okay, that's what I'm playing, okay, and then I just go on to the next thing. But yeah, we get to see Hook Resets versus Zed, Albino Joe versus Zed, Duds versus G Hair. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
Heather versus LPJ. It's gonna be a lot of interesting matches.
With Duds commentating, it doesn't get better than that.
Does not get better than that. So shout outs to AJS, giving the people what they want. This is gonna be great. But yeah, it starts at 8:15 p.m. and until the end of the night, it's one of our players versus one of our returning guests.
I love it.
Now, I hate to butter up that chicken a little bit there, a little ahead of time, but I wanted to ask you for next week, though, what matches are you looking forward to the most?
Well, of course, I'm looking forward to Chai versus Blaze.
Absolutely. If I don't, I have one match that's not including me, but absolutely the content war at 7:30, Chai versus Blaze. Blaze, you always, every time we play, it's usually close, and you're always just that close to beating me, and then something kooky happens, or something weird happens, or you just lose the gas, but you're so close to getting that W on me, and I know it's coming up soon.
I feel like I'm slowly starting to get out of my side B habit where I just rely on side B to carry me to victory. I know the first time we played in season 4, that was a critical mistake I was making. So hopefully I won't do that. Yeah, and I think I'm 0-3 against you and Baddy right now. So maybe this is the one.
It's always been
maybe
close.
This is the one.
Other than our match, though, what other match are you really looking forward to?
Really looking forward to Wellens versus LPJ. Duds versus AJS0 should be really, really good. Duds versus G Harris going to be really, really good.
Duds versus G Harris is the match that I'm looking forward to the most. If you've ever seen them play each other, it is a barn burner every single time.
I don't think I've ever seen them play.
It's great. It is premium content. I would pay to see that match.
And then lastly, I want to see Albino Joe versus Zed. I think that's a Baddy historical matchup. I think those two have been here since the beginning. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Those are definitely the matches we're looking forward to. And we talked about those matches, but the thing that's been talked about a lot recently, Blaze, aside from KK and King Joker being really, really good, we know that. From third place to 12th place is a fucking mess, dude.
Yep.
Everybody's it's a huge, just big mess of rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, gun, vest, everything. It's just a huge mess of players who have beaten each other, players who have lost to each other that are above them. I mean, shit, you beat King Joker. Kaiser beat DPG, who's only got one loss in the season. You beat arguably the second best player in the league right now. And next week is to decide who makes the top 12 seeds, who moves on, and who has to play in the secondary round robin to get the final four spots. Blaze, who do you got as your 12? Who are the 12 getting through next week?
How many do we have? Because we just lost another.
We got 19 people.
Do we have 19 right now, or do we have a different number right now?
19 right now.
We have 19 right now. Okay, here's my 12 making it in. KK.
Okay.
Candy Jack.
Free.
Wellens. LPJ. Chris DPG. Chai. Duds. Then it gets hard. Joey. Former player of the week, Cook Resets. Kaiser. Blaze.
Are you at 12 already? It sounds like
shit.
you're past 12.
I just said 11. I named myself. Oh, did I say King Joker?
You did.
Okay. And I'm gonna. Ooh. I think the script says that my 12th man should be Reaver.
Okay.
But that means Mullet Zor, Zach Man, Local Tune. I didn't even say Lars. Why didn't I say Lars? So that was my reflex top 12.
Yeah.
And I may need some revisions when we talk about this next week.
All right. I mean, that by then it'll be decided, but I think, yeah, obvious for me, number one, King KK, then King Joker, then Wellens, then Candy, LPJ, Lars. I have Kaiser getting in. I think he's playing phenomenally. Chris DPG, Reaver. And then from 9, 10, 11, 12, it gets hairy. 10, it gets a little hairy. I have Duds getting in.
Yep, that's 10.
I have AJS getting in. And I think the winner between you and me decides who gets that 12 spot.
All right. It is what it is. What's the commissioner's record right now?
Commissioner, 3-5.
3-5.
Pretty close to what you are right now. I'm 4-5. But like even the high-end players, some of them have just been playing other high-end players, so like their win-losses might not reflect their actual skill level. Like Candy and LPJ, we both agree are shoo-ins for top 12, right?
Right.
They're 2 and 4 each, respectively.
Oh, okay. All right. My reflex was Candy's 2 and 4, but I was like, oh wait, he's learning Game and Watch. He's had to play KK probably multiple times, and then he lost against Wellens. So
yeah, had to play against DPG, who plays sword characters, and sword characters just demolish Game and Watch too. So it's been a rough string of games for him.
Okay, it's getting tight.
It is getting tight. But yeah, those are our 12. And next week, we have 2 things going on. We have the battle for those last 4 spots in a round robin. Right? But if you end up being those 12 to get out, you won't be playing next week. Instead, you have the reward of being a top 12 player. And that reward is the Chai Invitational. This time, the XL version. Because instead of a standard 8, every single time we've had it, there's been 8 people.
Right.
Now it's 12 people. Now we big. Blaze, there's enough people that maybe you can even make it into a 1 instead of getting cheated out like you did last time.
Upon going through the recesses of my mind, I think I was in a Chai Invitational. There was a Chai Invitational where we weren't allowed to play our mains. I think that's the one I was in. Okay. It was like me, Trevor, KK, and someone else on a team. Yeah. So I was in 1.
Cool.
But it's not easy to get in. I'll tell you right now, it is not easy to get into a Chai Invitational.
You have to be good.
And the stars have to align.
The stars have to align. In fact, a lot of times we get people outside of that top 12 who are just available because not everyone can make it because it's not held on Wednesdays. It's held on a day other than Wednesday, which I'll make sure to work that out. But if you do not know what the Chai Invitational is at this point, the Chai Invitational is a crew battle amongst the players who usually have a bye in between stages of the tournament. And so the first and second player face off. First seed, the ranked 1 player, the ranked 2 player. They are captains. And we flip a digital coin. And they call it. We usually let the second seed call it. And they can choose between picking first and picking 1 player, or picking second and picking 2 players. Which strategically, sometimes going first has been better, and sometimes going second has been better. So it's definitely a mix-up. If Blaze, if you were one of the 2 captains, would you want to pick first or pick second?
I really like the idea of you get to pick 2 players, so maybe I would want to pick seconds. Yeah, especially in this format where you have 12 people to pick from, and there's a lot of people in Baddy that play multiple characters. So you kind of like pick 2 people, get a large character pool. That's what's kind of on my mind right now.
Yeah. I'm definitely on team pick first, just to get the best player out the way, because sometimes some of those players can like knock out 6 or 7 stocks by themselves.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Any more thoughts on the Chai Invitational, Blaze?
For the people that have never played a crew battle before, of course, it's a team format. This one's going to be 6-on-6. And when you win your match, however many stocks you have remaining, you carry into your next match. So let's say me and Chai were team captains. I've got Chris DPG, Salvo, Heather Spagooter, and AJS on my team. Chai has Candy Duds, KK, and Albino Joe, right? So me and Chai go first.
Dude, on that team, your team's getting squashed. What the fuck?
Just a scenario.
Your team's getting demolished.
Just a scenario.
Okay.
Let's say I beat Chai with 1 stock remaining, and Candy Jack is next on the roster. I have to play Candy Jack with 1 stock remaining. So
that's right.
The match starts, I jump off twice because I have 1 stock remaining, and then I play that match out. So, of course, the goal is, take as many stocks as you can. You want to take more stocks than the stocks you lose. It's a lot of fun. So I encourage everyone to get as high seeding as you can so you can make it into the crew battle.
Lastly, if you're listening, King Joker, if you go random during the crew battle, you would stay as random. You wouldn't switch to character that you got off of random on your first time in.
Big detail.
We got a lot of big details.
Also gets a little hairy.
Go ahead.
But
yeah.
I was just saying picking stage. I don't remember what we did for picking stages.
I think the most the easiest way to do it is just a gentleman to a particular stage that you can both agree on.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't have that. It's not that way. Counterpicking stages isn't part of the equation. It makes it too complicated, unnecessarily complicated, in my opinion. Well, speaking of complicated, we have a very interesting fellow. A lot of not necessarily negative interesting, but there's a lot of complexities to this fella. Great musician, great guy, fantastic Falco player. Coming up next, we have our interview with Duds. But before that, a quick commercial break.
God damn it. So sick of losing to a third-rate player.
Are you tired of always losing to some third-rate player?
Yes, but who the fuck are you?
Are you tired of never preparing a John for a match that was so clearly lagging?
Oh my god, all the time. It completely ate my input.
It 100% eats your input.
Yeah, totally. It's got me fretting about it.
Well, fret not with our new Neutron Link system, Baddy's Skillshare.
Okay, trusted brand, but I bet it's super complicated to set up.
The device couldn't be easier. Simply attach the device directly to your Giant 5 head,
Rude.
Flip the braided SATA cords over your shoulder like a pretty ponytail and into the Bluetooth 1.3 adapted to your headphone jack on your PDA.
I did not like most of that, but I'm down for the pretty ponytail.
Now, all the Super Smash Bros. Skills you have will be filtered out of your brain while you play at nearly 95% total skill drain, leaving you 5% to totally dunk that scrub.
That's like what I usually play with anyway. This is great.
With Baddy's Skillshare, you can take all that skill you weren't using and save it for your bracket demon. Or, better yet, sell it.
Ooh, I only take physical Bitcoin. Now, is that going to be a problem?
Every Baddy Skillshare offers a Bitcoin insertion slot directly into the top where you can take Bitcoins directly from other players and then give them your unused skill.
Finally, I can use some of the Johns I've been searching for totally all this time, but I can't think of them. What are some?
I only lost because I have to make rent.
Good, but I need a Dragon Ball Z reference in there too, otherwise it's a wash.
Or that was a close game while only using 5% of my power.
Oh my god, that's so cool. I'm gonna be like...
You'll be the bee's knees at your next local.
Of course, the bee's knees.
So order one today.
Welcome back to the Baddy Pre-Show podcast. We have our special guest today, the casual burb enjoyer, the bass player, the person who definitely does not leave their hand off of his cock, Duds. Welcome to the show.
It is great to be here. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing great. Just ate some ice cream.
Wholesome.
Oh, I wish I had some ice cream.
So, Duds, there's a lot of names that we could have introduced you by. We could have said Duds, Dudlington, Sir Dudlington, the Decidler.
Oh, it's official now. Thank you.
No. That's still to be decided.
You know, the crazy thing about that is Rich and I both of us at the exact same moment in time thought of that. And the universe coalesced in such a way, the energies aligned and just beamed that directly into both of our brains. That's exactly what happened.
And what's even funnier about that is not only did the interview start with Chai taking my only question that I had for Duds, it was then followed by fallacies told by Duds.
By fallacies.
I thought it was a really good way to lead the interview. Do you want to finish the question? I started the question. Do you want to finish the question?
Listen, hands off my fallacies, okay?
Duds, you've been called Duds.
Yes.
Birdie.
Yep.
Dudlington. Jakob. The D isn't silent. Some of those I'm making up on the spot.
Those are all, I've heard them all before.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Give us your favorite and least favorite tag that you've used.
I mean, I may be in a bit of the honeymoon phase right now, but Decidler is pretty fucking sweet. There are those who ask questions. They are the riddlers, and there are those who have the answers, and they are the Decidlers. And I am the Decidler.
And I'll let the listeners in on the actual origin story of Decidler.
Yeah.
Because in the server, we play a whole lot of doubles. If your schedule allows, try to get in the Discord. Usually late at night. There will be 4 to 6 to 8 people playing doubles, and in proper Smash faction, the way Sakurai wanted it, someone will say, "Okay, this is my last one. I've got work in the morning," or "I'm really tired. I should probably head out." You play one more, and then someone else says, "Okay, now this is actually the last one." And that proceeds for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Right, ad nauseum. Yeah.
Ad nauseum, right? So eventually, during this one particular night, I'm going to say it was last week, someone said, "Okay, this last one is the decider. This will decide who is best between the Green Boys or the Blue Ballers."
And I was there, correct?
You were there.
Yes.
You were there. After the decider was decided, we had to settle it. So the next best of 3 set would settle who was actually the better team between the Green Boys and the Blue Ballers. Once that was settled, it was a 1-1 set split. I think the Green Boys won the decider, No, I think the blue ballers won the decider and the green boys won the settler because we went all Ganon.
Yeah.
So we had to choose. We had to have a decidler who
It was a
decides
combination of
and
both, yeah.
who decides and settles the final set of the match. And of course, the green boys took it home. Here we go, green boys. But does chose to dub himself the decidler, which I'm okay with for now, as long as he knows who really decidled it. The previous day, I think someone either asked Duds or I don't know, but he was just like, yeah, I just kind of came up with this on my own, you know. I was thinking of a new tag.
And here's the thing.
What?
Here's the thing. I genuinely believed myself because like that's how my fucking brain works.
And I think when the decidler was happening, we were talking about the Mandela effect, how like a multiple of people will remember something that didn't happen. The Berenstein Bears, how do you spell it? Did they ever say bear in the show? Things of that nature. We don't have to get into it. The sidebar has been beaten to death by now. But that was the origin story of the decidler.
Yeah. And what my mind did was turned the Mandela effect into that like one, you know, into how Reddit works in that, you know, you made this, I made this. That's what happened. Since I decided that I was the decidler, then my brain was just like, I made that up.
The decidler it
was a novel
so much.
thought.
It impacted you so much, you then absorbed it into your identity.
Yeah, so that's probably my favorite tag.
I encourage more Baddy players in previous years and in this current year and in future years to join us for the decidler and the decidling.
Duds, we have you on the show for a reason. You actually wanted to be on the show because there's a lot to Duds that's changed over the past year. Not only as your development as a Smash player, but your developments in your professional career and for developments in your mental health. You want to lay it on us?
Yeah. Yeah, it's time to lay it on because it lifted off of me and it was laid upon me and then it lifted off of me in a manner of speaking. So y'all kind of remember me as of like this time last year or like last season, specifically like it all kind of started like my journey with actually experiencing like sort of the depths of mental health. I've always managed to like sort of stave it off until that point. Like either I've been like too dumb to acknowledge it, or like I'm a huge proponent of just the power of the human mind in like, oh, you know, I feel like I never felt like I could get this way because I wouldn't let myself get this way, you know? But it just kind of all came to a head in like late March of 2021. And what happened then was just like a lot of like physiological things sort of started happening to me. Like suddenly I was unable to sleep. I didn't really know what was happening. I was getting like weird night terrors and sweats, like you know, hallucinating things when I would wake up. And like I knew that they were not real, but like my brain was like, these are absolutely real. And I'm like, no, they physically cannot be because I am here. But it was just that like battle that was going back and forth. And like, yeah, no, we're going to talk about it. So like how Chai and Rich, how often do you take a shit per day?
Okay. Weird
never
lead.
more than one.
Usually
more than one?
once a day.
Yeah, like once or more than once. Fairly average, right? Pretty regular, like in the morning.
I don't think I've ever shit more than once a day.
Well, okay. Yeah, so I would normally be like once, twice a day as well, and like slow, like kind of gradually over the course of like a few weeks, it would be like once every like 4 or 5 days, and I just felt like totally out of sorts with myself. And I'm like, do I have long COVID? Like I can't taste things, you know, I'm like mind fog is real. Like so I play musical instruments, yeah, and it's really been baked into my muscle memory, like how to do these things, like play the cello and the bass guitar. And I'm like practicing with my cover band, and we've played these songs like 100 times, and I'm like, what the fuck are the chords?
Wow.
And like some weeks it would be better and some weeks it would be worse. And yeah, like it was impacting my ability to during Baddy Smash, especially do commentary. Like, man, I don't know if you all noticed, but I was absolutely nowhere near as like lucid and loquacious as I am now. It just like I couldn't really string thoughts together. Memory was really hard. Energy level was super low. Like I've always had an executive dysfunction, which means like, it's not ADD or ADHD. I'm completely aware of the thing that I need to do and that I need to do it. But I will come up with like every single excuse to not do it. It's like, oh, well, I want to eat dinner in an hour, so I can't start laundry. It'll be like, it was like that fucking bad.
Jeez. And so when you notice this starting to get really, really bad, what did you start to do to kind of really tackle that and come to terms with it?
I had a wonderful support network around me, a form of my folks, my parents, my good friends, even my job at the time, which I later realized was just really burning me out. And yeah, I would just like not, I would dread, I would like have to stop at the door of work and like take a deep breath and walk in. Which was fucked up because I love the work that I do, and I loved almost all of the people I worked with except this one guy. And that one guy, combined with the dearth of money that I was making, and just what it was doing to my mental health and my fiscal health, all just sort of boiled over at that point. But yeah, something like that. And then it just continues to bum you out that like I'm not able to like take in the experience of the world around me in like a meaningful way. And you start to think about things, and you start to think about what things might be like without you around. And it never got that bad with me, but I wasn't like getting out of bed for myself, really. I was getting out of bed for those who relied on me, which is great to have people that like rely on you. The obligation is extremely important. It was extremely important in my recovery, at least. So, let me tell you though about a superpower I gained during that time. So, as you all know, I play the game Super Smash Brothers. I've played every iteration of the game Super Smash Brothers. AJS introduced me to Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 64 way back in the day, and tortured me with Kirby's Down B before I figured out that I could also play Kirby and do Down B. But I thought that was kind of lame. I don't know. I don't really know who I played back then, but I don't know. There was just something magical about it. And I was always shit at fighting games, and like this was a quote unquote fighting game. I don't think it's a fighting game. That in one capacity or another has just always been something that I did. And if you do something a lot and you care about it when you're doing it, you get kind of good at it. And like, yeah, Jake the dog, the first step at, getting good at something, sucking at something is the first step at getting sort of good at something. So, yeah. And I played Brawl competitively in college. That's when I first started to like try and get good. I actually went down to Chicago and took like 6th out of like 30 something people. And, that was fun. I was like the weird outsider that played characters oddly. And, yeah, it's and I care a lot about it, which is why I would get so impassioned about it. And you all have experienced this with me, the duds tilt, it's happening. Oh no, where will he end up? What will happen? So sometimes I will end up I will end up having my Switch disconnected because I pound my desk too hard, because for some reason or another, I'm just so like pissed or like, impassioned about something that happened during a friendlies session. Like, should I care this much? Is it healthy? I don't know. I think it actually is. But yeah,
What's the power now?
What's that?
What's the power?
Oh yeah. So the power was it stemmed from that I care a lot. But when I was busy not having like, so and that I care so much is like, either you get like flow state duds and things are like, I'm doing like everything right and like I'm fucking schmoovin' and I'm doing really cool shit and it's all falling into place and it's all working out, or I have a dud stock and then I just like SD somehow and it's just, that's how it is. But my superpower was that those emotions went away. And I don't know if that manifested itself much in like my gameplay during the last Baddy Smash season, or perhaps even the one before, but mostly just the last one. But yeah, that was how it was. And now I'm really back, but with a fresh perspective.
Do you think we'll see duds tilts in the future?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely you will.
And then you know what? Maybe that's for a more healthy circumstance, because at least you have that emotion for it back.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, yeah, I don't know. I just love it a lot. And I love playing it with my friends a lot. And sometimes I care too much. Sometimes I expect too much of myself. Yeah, it's kind of come easy for me, and I haven't had, up until age 30, I haven't had that like struggle. That is, it's just like the human struggle, you gotta deal with it. It just happens to you. And a lot of people, like, the only regret I have is that I couldn't deal with it sooner, but now I did, and I'm back on my boat.
Go ahead. All right.
Oh no.
Good to hear, Duds. Final question on that though. What was the sign to you that like recovery is on its way? What was like the guiding star that kind of let you know that, hey, we're getting back to normal again?
I kind of wish I could tell you. I can tell you when it happened, but I can't really 100% tell you. Like, there wasn't like a one-to-one, like, okay, this is now a thing. I mean, I got my new job in March, but I didn't really feel back until like mid-June. But yeah, that was it. Like, sort of like as suddenly as it came upon me, it just like lifted off, and I just realized that, hey, I finally don't have to like be in this mode, and I have the facility, and yeah, like money was big too, for sure. To just deal with all my problems, and I'm 100% back on. I'm like 110% back on my bullshit. Like, I have like transcended the point of my known bullshit, and I am now into like unknown lands.
Yeah, we love to hear that. Blaze, do you have any more questions regarding Duds' rising from the Phoenix ashes?
Well, we've talked about Duds, the Smash competitor. We've talked about Duds, the musician. I had it and then I lost it. So one thing we haven't brought into the limelight yet is Duds, the TO, because near the end of quarantine, when things were starting to open back up, you ran a tournament series in your own house, and I think the listeners would be interested in to see how that went about. What kind of headspace were you in when you were running a tournament? How did it help you? How did it hurt you? Will there be other duels at the Duds in the future?
Did love warm up Wednesdays. I had one of my best sets at Warm Up Wednesdays.
I like that name. Yeah, this was even pre-quarantine as well. Because during quarantine, basically the entire Smash scene shut down and nobody was going anywhere, and it just all went online, and it was a good thing. People were really jonesing for some LAN, but we had to just pack it in, and keep it tight. But yeah, that was a local series for the scene in my surrounding area. I would usually get people from maybe 45 minutes away at most. Some, like, people from an hour-ish away came, if there was a car coming. But that series was called Warm Up Wednesdays. Yeah, nice and coat. Yeah, I had my best comeback against KK ever in Warm Up Wednesdays. That was like a Samus v DK thing. And his tactical blunder of throwing away a stock in order to be at optimum ding dong percent revealed that he was in fact the ding dong. And no, I felt really good about that one. But yeah, it's what I do is host a round robin, one pool. Everybody plays everybody. If we have like 10 or less people, that works out very well. So we do that into like a final, basically. And then the final is 2 sets, best 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall the biggest turnout you had?
I want to say I had like 14 people in the bracket.
Okay.
And it got a little out of hand. Because we have a lot of we can get a lot of setups in here, and I have a lot of little spaces where you can tuck them away. But yeah, it was difficult for me to keep everybody wrangled and for everybody to get their games in, and it ended up being going on kind of well into the night, and some people were like, "Oh, geez, we got to go," and then, but of course, one of the people that is in the car is one of the people that's in the final, so they got to wait, the whole car's got to wait. And all that, but yeah, it was every other Wednesday. I have heard from multiple people they really, really, really enjoyed it.
Also, there were also rumors about the bathroom setup, I believe, at Warm Up Wednesdays.
Oh Lord, we had yeah, we had bathroom melee going on. So I had this like shitty analog capture card that we didn't really get working that well. Like, we kind of got it, like, you would get frames, but it'd be a little bit jumpy and like do weird green lines and stuff. But yeah, one of the players that went by Steak would we sequestered the melee stream to the bathroom where it belonged, in the toilet. So dead game solved. I actually don't believe that at all anymore.
So the melee was streamed.
The melee was streamed.
Also.
The stream was someone's phone
pointing
like over the shoulder, like in the like they'd sit on the lip of the bathtub, and the monitor would be basically on the sink, because that's where like the outlets were up next to the sink, and they would sit on the lip of the bathtub
on the sink
with a camera, like just their cell phone over their shoulder, like latched to the shower curtain somehow. And oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, they'll play. Yeah, we'll play melee in like a porta potty in like 95-degree weather on a construction site, in Costa Rica or something.
And it's safe to assume one of the players is sitting on the toilet.
No one's sitting on the toilet, because the toilet's kind of over to the side a little bit too far. You wouldn't have a good view of the screen. So,
are people available to use the toilet while sets are going on?
If you ask,
I don't remember how many bathrooms are in your house.
How do you not make it weird? I gotta take a shit. What are your plans?
Listen, we're gonna go to an. All right, we're gonna.
Yo, man, I got this Frame 3 Duke coming out right now.
I banned toilet paper.
Just go to an forget to mute. It's just fucking toilet noises.
Anyway, moving right
I do
along.
have another toilet. It's downstairs. Yeah, they went down. They went downstairs.
That was the one that was. Yeah.
Is the answer.
Okay, so I've been a Duds fan since season 4.
Oh,
of course. this.
Hey, I wrote you
this
as my
upcoming-
protagonist. I'm a huge Duds head too.
Oh, really? I don't believe that.
You were my
I don't believe it
protagonist.
for a goddamn second. But
There was one vote. That was my vote.
damn, thanks, man.
I do admit this upcoming week I have to root against Duds because I need 4 wins from the guest players. So in Duds versus G Harris, I will be rooting against you.
Historically, haven't
but
tracked
I
well,
also
dude.
think
They've been
hasn't
close.
tracked well for G Harris. I heard they're nail biters. I have heard they're nail biters.
Usually precursored by like a bad character swap on my part, but
Well, keep the consistency, okay? Let's get that bad character swap.
I've at least like used technology to assist in my like character swaps this time. In like to comp off of Reeve Wheel Drive, I have the Overduds, which is a 15 character pool that I have on like an app on my phone that I can hit a button and it just gives me a random character out of that pool.
You know, I think this is the week we got a 16th character. You know, use a regular RNG generator to RNG a new character into your character.
Ooh,
I think it'll really jazz things up.
Yeah, that'd be pretty spicy. Yeah.
What I was leading to is in previous baddies, I thought one of the things that I thought I'd noticed in your character choices was you rotate 3 or 4 during the regular season. I feel like you're usually exempt from Swiss. You know, you get enough wins where you're kind of exempt. You're in top 8, yada yada yada. And then postseason during the top 8 bracket, you kind of default onto We Fit Trainer. You're just like, okay, now it's serious. I put it all on the line. I'm going We Fit Trainer. And me, as a new Duds fan watching this, I'm like, but he didn't play We Fit Trainer the whole season. How could it be warmed up? And you know Duds better than I know.
Here's the great
Duds.
part. It's not.
Okay. I say all this to say, is there a character
that's the best part,
that
it's
you've
not,
been
yeah.
playing? Okay. Is there a character that you've been playing that we have not seen a lot of yet? Do you have a sleeper pick for Baddy the 8th? Do you want to tell us now? Can we get a behind the scenes sneak peek trailer of future Duds characters?
Yeah,
choices?
sure. I'll tell you because screw it. You're not going to be able to deal. Yeah, I've been messing with Meta Knights. More specifically, Kirby in a Meta Knight costume. That's the skin I was.
So pink meta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I am not good at ladders. I am not great at edge guards, but he does have very easy edge guarding tools. Like I can just freaking like drop nair. The back air is strong. He has lots of little things that confirm into them. He has a trip, which I would always, I would always make fun of KK for like relying on the trip and like always getting the trip with DK's down tilt and like other people that have tripping moves. Kirby's down tilt.
You get the juice every time. You go for the tilt, the trip confirm every time.
Yeah.
Trip or otherwise.
Right, yeah. It's fairly safe to do too, but usually give him like I usually just hit it twice. I hit the down tilt twice, so then statistically it's more probable to happen the second time, just like percent wise. So and then I can just kind of almost do whatever, usually just like an F tilt or something. But yeah, he does a thing as soon as I hit a button. It feels very tactile. He can kind of move around. He can burst in like with his neutral B and like some other options and do weird stalls with the side B, throw people off. Lots of tempo mix-ups. But if I am not getting like an early edge guard, or if I'm not getting like that ladder or off the top, or like a drift read and then I nail you with an up B when you're above me, he is hard to kill with. So that's the in that vein, he's very similar to Falco in that once you're out of like a certain percentage window, and this has been very well documented and well commentated on, then I'm like out of confirms and I just have to hit you with a stray something, usually a back air, like an up smash. I'll just let an up smash rip. Same thing with Meta Knight. You can just let an up smash rip and it might kill you. And you also might fall out like Falco's. So
it's like he didn't even change character.
Right. And like he
So it's been it's been well documented for Meta Knight or well documented for Falco?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've heard people talk about Falco's inability to kill after the kill window.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's it. And I'd also like to take this moment to address, along with the like mental things that we've been talking about. I'd like to, well, not really call out AJS, but like, so he thinks he can psychoanalyze this. He thinks he can psychoanalyze everything that I just talked about. The enigma that is the machination of my mind or whatever. So he thinks he knows why I taunt after I die. And he doesn't like it. He thinks I'm just like, oh, hey, look at me. I'm kind of gassing myself up. Oh, I'm not bothered by whatever just happened. And why I actually taunt is because something cool or like weird or just funny happened. Like something very Smash Bros. Like either like if my opponent gets a great read, and I just eat shit. If they call out movement of mine, if something just totally wonky wacky happens and like I don't know how I got here. Oh, now I'm off the screen. That's why I taunt. So I taunt to compliment you as my opponent, or just to compliment the nature of the game as the fucking inexplicable beast that it is.
Which isn't to say that you've never been triggered while playing Baddy, but that just wasn't one of the triggering events.
No, correct. Yeah. If I'm triggered, what I'll usually do is I'll wait on the Angel platform for a bit.
Oh yeah, no, I was about to say I haven't seen a lot. Me in my matches against Duds, I have not seen a lot of taunting. I've seen a lot of Angel platform waiting.
Yeah, so you're actually the guy that gets to me.
There's even been speculation that Chai is throwing Baddy matches to stop Dud's entry into top 8 or to just block him in the final postseason bracket.
This can be historically confirmed. We can look back in history and see how often Chai encounters me in the top 8 bracket and how often he spoils my run.
It's frequent.
It's uncanny. It's a statistical anomaly. It would be an anomaly if it wasn't such a regular thing.
Is it an anomaly at all?
This, I'm not so sure about this season because I'm playing kind of like hot Dookie cheeks this season. But speaking of Dookie cheeks, last week I'm gonna ask you my final question, Duds. Rich may have more. We asked Kits a would you rather, and I have one specific for you because you're a bit of a music connoisseur. You're a musician. You love all different genres of music.
I like to think so.
So I figured this one was perfect for you. Duds, we live in 2 musical dystopias, and you have to choose one of the 2. Either new music can be written, new songs can be written, new melodies. However, for any lyrical piece, the lyrics and musical performance for that has to be performed by Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull himself.
Okay.
Or we can no longer write new music. Right? There's no more new melodies, there's no more new tunes. But there can be so many different musicians, they can only perform Pitbull songs.
Wait. The choices are...
Yeah, go ahead, Blaze.
No new music, or the option of new music, but all the new music is only by Pitbull?
Yes.
So it's we have old music, but it can only be Pitbull music. Or we have new music, but it can only be performed by Pitbull.
Yes.
Give me that Pitbull pill. Give me that Pitbull pill every day.
Oh, hell no.
New songs just all by
absolutely,
Pitbull?
Yeah. If we don't have art is, and now we're getting into like the nature of art, and like people argue all the time of whether like, oh, this is original or not, or like it sounds like such and such, and like, it's iterative, so like you only know, like there is no, some people are like, oh, there is no novel thought anymore, or like, there's no novel like musical idea, and there never can be, since like it's so stupid, but like to think that, because then it's like, where do you draw the line? Like caveman's banging sticks together? Do you draw it at like, oh, all the notes on the scale have been played, like this 12-tone scale, or like, it's dumb. So yeah, you have to humans couldn't like continue on this earth without like trying to create. You know what I mean?
Now, mind you, you can do like different instrumentation
Oh yeah.
for like, so you can have like a metal cover of a Pitbull song.
Oh, like it like
Who
an
wants
option
that?
B
Funk
where
cover.
it's only
Who is asking for this?
Like you don't have to recreate the song perfectly.
right.
They can be by different artists in different genres. Like you can have a bluegrass timber, for example.
Okay. In option B where we can only play existing Pitbull songs.
Yes.
Okay.
They can be different genres and different interpretations, but at the end of the day, you're gonna hear Dale like 4 times in a track.
So it's just me in the high school weight room again after during track practice.
Wait, I need to clarify this one more time. There's one scenario where there is no new music.
Yep. There's no new songs or like there can be new instrumentation, so you can have like again a jazz version of You Mean Everything Tonight, or a classical version of Fun. But they're all Pitbull songs at the end of the day.
That still leaves a lot of room for interpretation. So like again with the argument of like is all iterative, like so we would just like music we would start music over. We would have music 2. And music 2 is all based off of Pitbull songs. But we can iterate on them and like make them different genres with different instruments, and like at which point now does it kind of become a new song?
But they have to have the same lyrics and same
yeah.
But it also means you give Pitbull credit for every song that.
Oh, this man's a trillionaire in royalties, a quadrillionaire in royalties.
Pitbull is now responsible for every Beatles song, Michael Jackson song, Beyonce song.
Well, there are no other songs.
There's no other songs.
Right,
Yeah.
there is no other. There is no Beyonce. There is only Pitbull.
Yes.
And now in this dystopian world, Beyonce is doing Pitbull covers. Good Lord, what a sick twist. Okay, all right, I'm done.
Which one are you taking, Blaze? Are you
But
taking?
there is no such thing as a Pitbull cover anymore because all music is Pitbull. So now you're just playing music. Because no one knows anything else.
Have you changed your mind, Duds? Do you want new songs and new lyrics and whatnot, but it's all Pitbull, or are you sticking with the other reality?
It's a little too like no, I think I would even given those options, like even given that like flexibility of like and the subjectiveness of genre and the people can invent new instruments all the time too, and like new ways to play them, but I still would take like I still would take the alternative of like we can iterate off of everything would just be performed by Pitbull, but there would still be he would just be the guy singing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah,
He'd be the guy singing.
Yeah.
Here's my last question.
He can branch off, dude. If he has unlimited opportunity and unlimited life, is Pitbull immortal in this scenario?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
Because otherwise it wouldn't work.
Because otherwise you have no music. Then.
Otherwise you'd have to keep cloning Pitbull, and he would have to be the same Pitbull.
I guess I just have to I guess we're kind of
in before Mr. 305
this
is his clone number and not his real area code number. Go ahead, Blaze.
We are subconsciously slandering Pitbull by saying, well, this is awful. But I guess in this scenario where he has come up with every song, he is this demigod.
Yes.
So it's like we would all in this world, we would all be Pitbull fans. Like it
by
back
being forced to.
Yeah, so like Pitbull becomes the god of music.
Saying something bad about Pitbull is the same thing as that's just punishable by death. So, but here's my question.
You can still have opinions about new music, I guess, but you would just be like, well,
but why would you? How could you? I don't know. Okay, Pitbull is responsible for every Gorillaz album, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are the Gorillaz allowed to make new music?
in theory, they could make instrumentation, but if they wanted anything vocally done, it's done by Pitbull.
Oh, so we can still do instrumentals? Oh shit, that's my jam. I'm a fucking pretentious prog rock snob. So if you just take vocals out of the equation, you can still make infinite musics.
I think I'm gonna choose no new music.
All right, Dud's a little seasoning into that though.
Okay.
Do you know what ad libs are in rap music?
I mean, I'm assuming that's you just sort of take it off the top, or like do
no, that's
rip?
when someone like does that's usually when someone's ad libbing in rap music. It's usually in the background. They'll say like "honcho" or they'll be like "hey," or like there's someone in the background.
Yeah.
Okay. Pitbull's doing that all of your prog rock.
I'm fucking down. We could make it funny.
Blaze, what are you picking?
I want the scenario where there's no new music and I get all the music that has already existed with its original artist.
That's neither one of these realities.
Well, okay, I could see that being better for like a selfish person, because then like, you know, just for your own life, that's still a whole lot of music to experience.
Yeah.
But like for the good of the good of humanity and the good of like the universe, that would be a net loss, like in every other way.
Yeah,
I think.
Blaze, as Dud said, this is music too.
Yeah, music too.
So in one scenario, we get all the music that we have previously created, except it's by Pitbull, and all the other artists can now sample it. Now, what's the other scenario?
Okay, so there's two scenarios. I might have to trim this down in post. There's two scenarios. One scenario is, okay, so imagine an apocalypse happens.
Yep.
And either there are two options. One, the only music that can be created, the only music that is made are covers of Pitbull songs. They can be in different instrumentations and different time signatures, but they're Pitbull songs at all of the day. Or...
And we've lost everything else.
The library
can
of
no longer
Alexandria
create
has
new
been burned.
songs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got it.
Or
okay.
We can have new music, except it's all sung by Pitbull, or he has ad libs over your instrumental stuff.
Yeah, and I'm for option B, like all day of the week.
Yeah, give me option B. Yeah, give me option B.
We're taking the Pitbull pill. Alrighty.
We're pill bold.
Fucked.
That's a tough one to swallow.
Well, I think that's all my questions I had for y'all. Blaze, did you have any questions?
My mind's broken.
All right. Well, Duds, thank you for being on the show. You have one last set point in time. You get your stump speech. Is there anything you want to say to the audience listening at home?
Prepare for my new instrumental Pitbull themed project coming up. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Mental health, it's big. It's complicated. It matters a whole lot. And you matter a whole lot. It sometimes isn't enough. But you are enough, and I am enough. And I've had enough of not taking the fucking championship in Baddy Smash. I am coming for your asses.
You heard it here, Fropost. He took off. He's like Rock Lee taking off the leg weights. No more sads. Now y'all gonna be bads.
Yep. No more sad, only bad.
Anyway, Duds, thank you again for being on the show. Now, back to Baddy Bets.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back to the show, Duds. That was a real heartfelt conversation. We were glad to have you on the show. Really learned a lot about you. Thanks for showing. It was really informing, really eye-opening, and really heartfelt. So thank you for being on.
Thought-provoking stuff. Thought-provoking stuff.
Something else to think about though is Blaze, our Baddy Bets. I had way too much faith in our players, Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
An obscene amount of faith in our players. A amount of faith in our players that now means in my next set of matches, I have to pick Castle Siege, WarioWare, or Unova whenever possible, because there was way more than 2 SDs on stream.
Oh yeah.
I stopped counting at 4. I was like, I'm done. I don't care anymore. It's stinky stage time for this guy.
Yeah, I was definitely one of those SDs. But that's this, very good news for me since I have to play you on stream. And you have these stages that you have to select from. So things are looking up for me in the next round of Baddy Bets. What do we got?
I will tell you, though, that there is a little bit of danger on that previous bet, though, because I play a particular character who loves WarioWare.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Terry going to hit you with a burning knuckle at 40% and you just die.
Yeah, sounds like Terry.
That does sound like Terry regardless. Here's the new bet, though. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time we had guests on the show, it was Kits, and he went 1 and 2.
Yep.
Right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games on stream with a guest.
We have 7 games on stream with a guest player.
Yes.
All right.
Here's the thing. I am looking at it now. And the more I look at it, the more I think we're going to get a lot of the same from last time when we had guests on, is that they kind of just get stomped.
Sounds like you don't have a lot of faith in our guests this round.
I don't have a lot of faith in our guests.
Ooh.
I think there's not going to be... I'm taking the under at 3 wins, 3 or less wins from our guests.
G. Harris,
on stream.
Zed, and Heather combined will not get more than 3 wins.
They will not.
Okay. So here are my wins for the team guests.
Yes.
I've got Heather over Zach Man.
Okay.
I've got G. Harris over AJS0.
Okay.
And the closest one will be G. Harris over Duds. So what I'm really Okay. I'm comfortable with this.
Okay.
Zed can beat Huckletune, and that'll be 4. That's all I need.
That's all you need?
That's all I need. The cherry on top is if Heather beats LPJ. That's the icing. What's the punishment?
I'm still trying to think of a good one, but I think Kits had one.
What the fuck did Kits come up with?
Kits was on our show, and we were talking about we were talking to him, before. You remember the last time you called your mom?
I remember. I'll never forget.
Now you got to call your dad and explain to him why you're calling. You have to say, "Hey, I lost a bet, and that certain player is a win or lose, and I lost, which is why I'm calling you now."
That's it? Call my father?
Call your dad. And explain to him the shenanigans you've gotten yourself into.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Call my father. All right. I'm down.
On live.
On live. On the podcast.
Deal?
Deal. Virtual handshake. Done.
Well, folks, that has been today's episode, or this week's episode of the Baddy Preshow podcast. This was Chai.
And this is Blaze. If Hook Resets loses next week, this will be the second time he's fucked me in this damn
Hook Resets, the people's champ, the week 1 player of the week. Please do not fuck our boy Blaze. Actually, no. Please fuck him. Please fuck him real hard.
Mother of God. All right, here we go. I've been Blaze.
Peace.
fall. This town is mine and mine to rule. I got stacks on stacks of TNT. I'm gonna go and kill them all. Creeper, axe up, smack down. Creeper.